Hi and welcome again to a little Wingspan gameplay video. This is still part of the RLR Tournament. My current score is 2-2, so I have no chances of reaching the #1 spot in my group and qualify for the next stage in the regular way. However, there is some twist in this tournament that allows me to get a wild card by achieving a high score. Not sure if this will be possible with this hand though. So this is the 5th game. I'm going first. This is my opening hand, and this is the tray. Nice birds in the tray. However, I don't think there is anything that I would desperately need. In my opening hand, I'm a huge fan of the woodpecker. I'm generally a fan of the fruit dove for the sheer amount of food it generates. I'm not a fan of the great teal at all, but it's the only card draw, the only wetlands bird in the opening hand, so I might have to keep it anyways without... I would not necessarily keep the red crossbill, although it's a nicely statted bird. But since it's qualified for the round goal, I might still keep it. So there is 4 cards interesting in my opening hand. I don't think that I have any needs for the red shouldered hawk, except the bonus cards say so, which is not the case. So Zoologist used to be a no-brainer bonus card on the old board. On the Oceania board, I often end up with less amount of eggs, simply because it's more difficult to lay that amount. I don't have any bird qualified for the mono grub eating thing, so I will go for the Zoologist. Then the question is, do I really want to keep all of these forest birds? Might not want to keep that fruit dove then, when I have woodpecker and crossbill already. That's, I think, the only question that's really necessary to ask here. What can we do with random food like berries? Can I get a view of the board and the abilities? No, I can't. That's sad. So I can use nectar for extra cards. I can use food for extra eggs, so that's definitely fine. So if I kept this, I would have 2 food in the opening hand. If I didn't, I had 3, so I could, but it doesn't make a big difference because I need the red crossbill early to have the right base for laying eggs. And I can always discard cards for extra food on the Oceania board, so I just keep 4 cards, 1 grain to play the crossbill early on, and off we go. So with the round goal #1 being coffee cup nests with eggs, we could think of being interested in the yellow-rumped warbler, but I think it's not that high quality that we actually want to keep it. So let's read what the great teal actually does. So I only kept it for reasons of it being the only wetlands bird. I mean, it's not totally useless, but 2 foods and 2 points are not very good stats for this rather mediocre ability. I mean, if it hits, we get a point or an extra card, which is okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe there will be a situation in which we find a better wetlands bird, or something like killdeer, Franklin's gull from the tray, so that we can manage our card draw in a different way. Yeah, let's see. Alright, so I just had the random thought that I might be overreacting on the round goal. I think it's right to keep the crossbill, but I'm not sure anymore if it's right to play it as the first bird, because arguably the abilities of these other forest birds might be stronger. So opponent draws the cup nest bird and leaves me another wetlands bird, which is not the one that I want to take. So let's grab these nectar and also give away free wheat. By the way, I looked up the conditions for advancing in this tournament, so actually the 24 best second places, or the next best 24 records after the group winners will also advance, and 8 players with the single highest scoring games will also advance. I'm definitely not in that region, so all my games were between 100 and 115 or something, and I think for the highest score there will be probably something necessary 130 and above. So I have since this tournament started, I had the idea that maybe one can have a game regardless of you winning or losing. If both players end up with like 130 plus scores, that would be a really nice feature, to just play for the highest score without even trying to have a higher score than your current opponent. But that's difficult to achieve. Somebody pointed out that having the no goal round 1 goal would be one of the means to achieve it, and without that it will be difficult. That might be true, because with 3 extra actions towards the end of the game you would score many more points. Well, so we have the crossbill, we have the grey teal. One of our next 5 actions will have to be lay eggs. I would also be in favor of playing more of my extra food birds early on. It's a lot about eggs. I haven't really reflected on the other round calls, so there's many an egg going on. And we don't really have an idea how to produce that amount of eggs yet, so let's see. Opponent played the yellow rummed warblers, so they have similar ideas as I have. Nightingale, so they might be giving away free food as well, and they have a second cup nest, so winning the round goal is already difficult for me. Let's see what we can find. So there is a wetlands bird in the tray, which gives me grubs if the other player has grubs. I don't want to rely on that, so I don't want anything from the tray. Bird that gives both players an egg. It's nice when it's in the opening end, but I also don't really want to invest a card draw action, so let's just flip these. Oh, Yellowhammer, that's nice. And Black-headed Gull. That's decent. There is a Purple Martin, also very nice. And 2 cuckoos. We cannot take. I don't think I want to tuck that Martin. Rather keeping it right away. Okay, so now we have a strategy. With the Yellowhammer we want to diversify our actions so that we get a free play a bird every turn. So and free grubs, nice. What we didn't get was a second cup nest bird, so it's just we'll ignore the round goal except for participating with 1 egg on the crossbill at least. 4 actions. 1 will have to be lay eggs, and 1 will have to be play the Yellowhammer, for which we need food, which is a bit unfortunate because the bird feeder is not attractive at the moment. Is there anything that we can do before? Would prefer to lay eggs after playing the yellow hammer, of course. Yeah, I don't think we can really avoid this. So just grab food, give away free wheat so that we can pay for the yellow hammer, play the yellow hammer, lay eggs. Then, I don't know, maybe get food again. Play bird is not an option because then we would end up with 0 eggs for the round goal, which would be disappointing. So another question will be, where will Purple Martin go? I'm leaning towards playing it in the grassland, because the round goals demand a certain amount of egg laying. And I don't think we're going for a full tuck engine in the wetlands anyway. So interesting birds here. The bird that transforms rats into nectar. Ha, this would be the one game where Loggerhead Shrike actually does something. Eggs on the crossbill. So, final question for this round would be, which bird will we play off the yellow hammer? I guess something for the forest, actually. Establishing the Purple Martin would also be nice. Since we do have enough food at the moment, I think I will just do another card draw, actually. Let's see what we get. Savannah Sparrow, not interesting for this round, but maybe later. Same for Burrowing Owl. That's a lot of egg slots for the cave nest thingy. So there is 2 options that we can get off the Grey Teal. Frigate Bird is a 9-point bird, that's pretty nice. Green Heron is also pretty nice. When we have a surplus of random food like berries, we can turn it into nectar with the Green Heron. Will we end up at enough food to play the Frigate Bird? Yeah, I think we'll just go for sheer amounts of food and go with the 9-point bird. And I think it's still better to keep this than randomly tucking this. So yeah, I will just play the Woodpecker as my final action. Not as my final action, as the end of round play a bird thingy. As planned, we lose this EOR. Oh, Bonellis Eagle and White Wagtail. Well, that's unfortunate. I have the slight suspicion that our opponent is not going to leave Eagle or Wagtail for us. But if they did, we would snatch them. Nope, they don't. Well. So the bird feeder is moderately interesting. Which is to say, it's not really interesting. So I think I will go for that Purple Martin at this point. So, strategy. What do we want to play? Do we want to play that fruit dove? I'm still in favor of doing so. Do we want to play that gull? I don't think we rely on this power in our wetlands, so I would rather say no. Savannah Sparrow could save us an action maybe, but it's also not that important when we have... So there is a certain risk of overfilling the board with Savannah Sparrow and Yellowhammer, although I don't really think this is going to happen. Regardless, so we lay eggs. I think it's also wise to invest some food for extra eggs, because there will be a surplus of food. And I think we'll part with the gull and draw another card, which will be none of the tray, I guess, but a random card. So one option could be, since we have 3 eggs now, to gain food and see that we can play these 2 birds here, that our egg laying action is improved. Of course, we still don't roll any nectar, which makes me regret having discarded that mouse. This is a terrible roll. So we'll get another die from the... Still is a terrible roll. We get... If we discard it, we could re-roll and see if we got... That's actually not what I want to do. Okay, plan B, anyone? Overpay for the aforementioned plan. Doesn't really help me towards the food that I need. We don't even have a berry for the fruit dove. That's really disappointing. Yeah, since I still think we will be able to get enough food in the long run, we could still overpay or actually gain food again. Play birds, lay eggs. That would definitely limit us. So if we play the wetlands, the grasslands birds now, we have 3 actions left, so we could then lay eggs, play forest bird, lay eggs, but then we would have to have had the right food. This is a round goal that we could actually compete in, because they also have a wagtail. They're not going to lay a ton of eggs, I think. Maybe we simply skip the Savannah Sparrow. What if we play the fruit dove now with overpaying? Then we add 3 food, and then we would have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 food, which is a ton, and 3 actions left. That would be with play that one and gain food. Then we can play 1 grassland bird, lay 4 eggs, which would leave us at 5. I think that's decent. And doesn't work because then we cannot use the yellow hammer, which would be a bummer. That's all very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. It's a difficult point in the game. I think I then try to at least maintain the 4 egg level and do the overpaying for the grassland birds too. Then lay eggs, fill up the forest. So lay eggs, draw cards, and gain food are then probably the actions that I do want to take. Maybe if we find another cheap bird and or we get something of their nightingale, which is the case. Thanks, now there is the grub. So we would have enough food to play that dove, actually. We do definitely need to draw cards, so we do that now. I'm still not overly interested in the birds in the tray. That's okay. And this is not much of a choice. Do we want a hummingbird? It's not the worst of birds. It's easy to play with the food that we have. And we have tons of options to discard cards for value, so still no need for tucking. So far the Great Heal has given us 3 extra cards, one time with actual selection, so it's not performing that terribly. Although the power still doesn't read like it being the best idea to go for this in the void. Alright, so the no-brain action is we do want to lay eggs, and I think we do want 1 extra. I don't think we need the red start really. Oh yeah. Not many chances, but they were seized. Is there still... Has this fruit dove gone old in my hand? I think it has. So... I know I do have other options and duties. That's prime tucking material. I mean, that would be an 8-point bird for 2. It's actually not that bad. If there was the birds with tucked cards bonus card, that would actually be interesting, but I think it's not what we desire to do. So there is another food for us. They have laid eggs multiple times, so I'm actually out of the round goal, which means I don't have to lay eggs again. I can simply gain food. I have fulfilled the requirements for the yellow hammer already. So yeah, I'll just gain food to have more flexibility. think that I need to discard anything here. So if I want to play anything else than the hummingbird, I think I can use a second nectar. And since my opponent's name is Dr.Grainslove, I will, of course, give away 3 grains to thank for all the mice that I'm bestowed with. Alright, so Yellowhammer plays another bird. And to improve my card drawing down there, I think I'm actually going to play the ring-billed gull. I can dump the frigate bird later. Just for means of point scoring. Yeah, I think this round has ruined me the game, actually. The opponent found a teal play bird and a Bonelli's in the tray, and in the crucial point in time I failed to roll rat or nectar or berry when trying to get food, so I think that were 2 major bummers that will make it really difficult for me to advance or to be victorious in this game. So there is a noisy miner. What does this one do again? Tucking a card. If you do lay up to 2 eggs on this bird, all other players may lay 1 egg. So that's a strong bird, especially since it can go in the forest. But I think actually I would want to have this as my 5th grassland bird and then just lay a ton of eggs. I do have 3 eggs at the moment, so I could draw cards, discard an egg for an extra card, and pick up that noisy miner. I think that sounds good. Noisy miner, really noisy, says Phoebe. Discard 1 egg for an extra card, also Phoebe. So there will definitely be no space for the pipit. And the snowy egret. Yeah, we'll also keep this because tucking it in the noisy miner will give us more points. Oh no! And now we flip the puffin for our opponent. I would have loved the puffin. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah. Prediction. We're not getting a puffin. Predicted correctly. Is there any chance that we ever have more nectar in the grassland than our opponent? I don't think so. So we could simply play the noisy miner right now, or we can, I mean, I'll have to do 1 gain food action anyways, so I can also try to roll 1 nectar. I will get the 2nd fish. The frigate bird will approve. Oh, how generous. Still think I have enough food already, so no need to do stuff here. So, noisy miner. We'll lay a ton of eggs. We have 9 cave nest slots so far. Opponent has 1. So there might be a chance that we actually win this EOR. Interesting combination, by the way. Our opponent gives away 3 rats that are in the void, not as useful for other players, and is able to convert them into nectar with their Korimaco. So this rather annoying bird I mean, in terms of sound. In terms of gameplay, it's fantastic. If there ever was a bird that that made me turn down the volume of the Wingspan audio, it was the noisy miner. So our grasslands birds have the priority for the egg laying. Black woodpecker, a bit late to the party. Because this is also relevant for the next round goals. I'm not going to play this one. Oh. Yeah, I'm not playing the black woodpecker anymore. I think I will definitely lay eggs one more time. And then I have one more action. For which I can. I think it will just be laying eggs as well. I have a bonus card that's interested in eggs. The round calls are for eggs. Eggs are points. Eggs are friends, not food. Or whatever. In with you. Counting large birds. 1. Probably not an option. So, which bird would I want to play off the yellowhammer? Ideally one for which I wouldn't have to overpay. And since the bird feeder is not attractive, I would just go for anything. And the only one I don't have to overpay for is the rather useless black swan or the hummingbird. But anyways, let's just keep on laying eggs. It's the best action that we can do at the moment. I'm not playing that flycatcher. Don't think I'm going to play Phoebe. Wild turkey. So probably it would be best to play either frigate bird or wild turkey with mild overpayment, actually. So we got another red for free. So far my board looks better, but There are 4 bonus cards and I have Bonelli's Eagle in hand, so I'm not overly convinced that this will be enough. I think I will just drop the Frigate Bird right now and ditch one of these eggs. Yay, we won a round goal. There is a decent bonus card bird, although not one of the best ones. Might still be an option to pick it up. So my main priority will be still laying eggs for round goal reasons. Since I still want to use that yellow hammer, I will lay eggs twice and do all the other actions once. Not even that bonus bird. Well, we get a free card as a replacement. Fantastic. Well, then... I don't really see any chances of us getting close to any of the Nectar rankings because of their Cory Marco action. Oh, White-Faced Heron. It's also a nice one. So there is no need for us to rush to the bird feeder right now. Also, I don't really want to use the Frigate Bird for an extra food, I guess. I'll just draw cards now and see what we get. Nice, but late to the party. That's the poor man's version of Bonelli's Eagle. I can discard one of these eggs to draw an extra card, I guess. Skip this one. Yeah, I'm not playing this one. Whooping Crane, that's a nice one. And yeah, at this point I'm not sure if I have enough actions to tuck all the stuff, so I'll tuck this right here and right now. Alright, so that card draw action was moderately successful. So to make most efficient use of the noisy minor eggs, would probably just play the Whooping Crane right now and use 2 of these eggs. Large Bird Specialist. Well, I mean, we'll get to 4 points with that. Definitely, so I can take this. Could also take the Falconer and play the Sparrowhawk, but I think the other birds are better to play, so we just take those. So, birds over 100 centimeters. Including this one. That will be 4, so that's actually a 10-point bird. That might make it better than... So 10 points minus 2 because we'll have to pay 2 eggs. So turkey is 8 points minus 1. That doesn't make much of a difference. I mean, it's one more point, so this point in the game I would rather play the Black Swan than the... Oh, it would also assist our bonus card. But I mean, that will be That will be filled anyway, so I don't think we have to worry about that. The one argument for the forest could be that there's only 2 nectar in their forest right now, so if we ever had a chance to win any nectar category, it would be the forest, because we have no space left in the grasslands and we'll never get to 7 in the wetlands. But they do have 3 nectar in their supply right now, so if they use this for a forest bird, this option is also off the table. Red-tailed hawk, so they didn't use it for the forest. But first we would also need to roll some nectar, so let's see if we can do this. At least. Can I use the food for anything else? I cannot, right? I will just play 1 bird, period. Then I actually don't have to discard it. I mean, food is a tiebreaker, card is not, so we should discard a card. But I don't think that I need to continue giving away free stuff at this point, because I cannot use that extra food. My opponent could, because they have only 1 food at their disposal at the moment. Common Swift. Alright. So we will have to lay eggs twice. First fill the grassland and then start spreading eggs for the zoologist. Being careful not to ruin our potential black swan. Many criteria actually. Yay! So it's good that we are going last in the final round, so we see if there is a chance for us. With the nectar categories. So that was their last action. They will play Bonelli's Eagle off the wagtail, which means that we can actually win the Forest Nectar category, which renders the Wild Turkey a better play. So this also means that we don't get the eggs of this Black Swan, so we have to take care of our zoologist ourselves. What's the score here? That's not a problem, so we can just use one of these. Why doesn't it turn golden? It's simply not updated. It is golden now. So they can ditch one grub in their Common Swift, and then we come to the final scoring. So I think this was a pretty good game. I'm still not sure if this is enough. We're pretty strong in the In the eggs department, we have equalized in terms of round goals. We are behind on nectar. We'll definitely be behind on bonus cards. So yeah, let's see. But that will definitely be quite a nice score. So birds is almost level. No, we're not that far behind on bonuses. That's okay. This might actually work out. Nice, we did it! Also the highest score I had in this tournament so far, but it's probably not a high score in a range that would actually get me anywhere in terms of wild cards. But still, that has been a nice session. Thank you for watching, and there will probably be one more video of this tournament series. And of course there will also be more videos about other tournaments and other sessions later on. So far, have a nice holiday season and a good start in year 25, and see you around.